Hey everyone, welcome to Call the API. So glad you're here. Today, we're going to dive into something really cool, how we can use a little bit of AI magic to make the web a whole lot more accessible for everyone. We're talking about automating one of those tasks that's, super tedious, but absolutely crucial. And the best part? We'll be using tools that you can start playing with for free, like right now.
All right, so take a good look at this chart. For a lot of us, okay, it's a scatter plot, we can see the trends, the outliers, we get the gist. But what if you couldn't see it? Imagine you had to explain everything that's going on here, every single data point, every trend, the whole story, to someone who's using a screen reader. I mean, how do you even do that? Where would you possibly start? That right there, that's the big problem we're going to solve today.
Okay, so to even begin to tackle that problem, we need to talk about a very specific, very important tool, and that's good alt text. Let's dig into why this stuff really matters.
So what are we actually talking about here? It's officially called alternative text, but you'll almost always hear it called alt text. And really, it's pretty simple. It's the little piece of descriptive text that a screen reader reads out loud when it gets to an image. The thing is, without good alt text, all the amazing information packed into a chart or a photo, it's just gone. It's invisible to anyone with a vision impairment. It's not just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely fundamental for making the web work for everyone.
But here's the kicker, and this quote from Hugh Alexander at HighCharts just nails it. Great alt text, especially for data charts, isn't just a boring list of numbers. He says, the story of the data should unfold. It's about being a storyteller. You're not just reading a phone book of data points, you're supposed to communicate the point, the big idea, the insight. And, well, that is way harder to do by hand, especially if you have dozens of charts to get through.
So, we've got this tough, time-sucking, but super important job of being a data storyteller. How on earth are we supposed to do that at scale? Well, this is where things get really exciting. Let me introduce you to your new AI copilot.
Yeah, just think about that for a second. What if instead of you having to stare at a chart and rack your brain, you had a copilot, an assistant that could just look at it, instantly understand the story, and write a perfect description for you, just like that? And I'm not talking about science fiction here. This is something that's totally possible right now.
And the tool that's going to make this all happen for us is Google AI Studio. Honestly, the best part about this is how easy it is to get started. I mean, it's totally free. It just runs in your web browser, so there's nothing to install. You can prototype with their super powerful Gemini AI models without any complicated setup. You don't even have to put in a credit card. You just sign up, get a free API key, and you are ready to start building. It's awesome.
All right, you ready? Let's get into the good stuff. It's time to see how we actually connect our plain old data to this powerful AI brain. This, my friends, is where the real magic happens. We're going to make an API call. And where does all this magic start? Well, you're looking at it. A totally normal, everyday Google Sheet. Nothing fancy, right? No complicated databases, no servers to set up. We've just got 2 columns of data here. That's it. Simple, clean, and all ready to go.
So here's the entire game plan, broken down into 4 super simple steps. First, our data turns into a chart. Second, we send that chart over to the AI. Third, the AI works its magic and writes up a description. And fourth, this is the best part, that description pops right back into our original sheet. It's this perfect, clean, automated little circle.
Okay, and this is the magic spell that makes it all work. Now don't get scared by the code on the screen. This is a little bit of Google Apps script. You don't need to understand every single line. The important thing is what it's doing. This little script does all the heavy lifting. It makes the chart, it bundles it all up, and then it calls the Gemini API and says, hey, look at this chart and please write me a great alt text description. That's it. And just like that, we run the script and boom, this is what we get. Check it out. There's our new chart right inside the spreadsheet. And look over there in cell E1. That's our description, written completely by the AI. It looked at the picture of the chart and sent back the story of the data. How cool is that?
So, what you just saw, that's the power of something called a RESTful API. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator, or maybe like a special kind of glue. It lets 2 totally different tools, in our case, Google Sheets and Google AI, talk to each other and work together like they were made for it. Honestly, this idea is the backbone of pretty much all the cool automation you see on the web today.
Okay, so we've seen the tech works. It's fast, it's automated. But here's the million-dollar question. Is the result actually any good? I mean, does the AI write a description that's actually helpful? Let's take a look at a couple of examples and see. All right, check this out. On the left, a pretty standard bar chart, right? Showing revenue for different products. Now look at what the AI wrote. It didn't just say bar chart of products. No way. It says it's a horizontal bar chart. It correctly identifies the top product, eyeshadows, and even gives an approximate revenue figure. It gets the key insight, the most important piece of information, and puts it right up front. That is a genuinely useful description.
And this one really blows my mind, because it's not just a simple bar chart. This is a more conceptual, more abstract Venn diagram. And the AI totally gets it. It doesn't just say 3 circles. It identifies the labels, data, function, and design. But then it does something amazing. It understands what the overlap means. It explains that the center part shows how a good data visualization needs all 3. That's not just describing a picture. That is pure storytelling. It's understanding the concept.
So let's bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you? Well, first off, you can automate those soul-crushing, tedious tasks. You can take your accessibility game to a whole new level, at scale, making sure your content works for all your users. And you can do it by mashing up tools you already know and love, like Google Sheets, in ways you never thought possible. And the absolute best part, you can start playing with all of this stuff for free, like today.
So there you have it. We just saw how one simple API call can plug an everyday tool into a super-powered AI brain to solve a really important problem. It really means you think, right? We just automated accessibility. What boring, time-consuming, but totally crucial part of your work is just waiting to be automated? What are you going to automate next?